Welcome back to Bibliophiles Audio Files. On today's episode, we're doing Hard as Wood by G.M. Ferry, which was our second spin wheel. Yeah, our second spin wheel book. The description for Hard as Wood: Clara has always had a soft spot for her puppets, especially Pinio, the charming wooden man her father carved when she was just a girl. But when a wish on a star brings Pinio to life as a full-grown man, Clara's world turns upside down. Now, navigating his new human desires, he's determined to win Clara's heart. But the world throws obstacles in their way, making them wonder if they'll be enough for each other. Clara and Pinio must saw through their fears to accept the true love granted by the stars. It means saw because he's made out of wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
Okay. All right. All right. Trigger warnings for... There's only one? Really?
Yeah, I looked at her website to see what kind of trigger warnings she had because she has all of her trigger warnings for all of her books listed on there.
Okay.
And I mean, to sum them all up, it's just that one.
Content warnings. The short story contains mature themes, including voyeurism, oral sex, and unprotected sex with an impossibly large wooden penis. Love that.
Okay, let's
All
see.
right. Okay. This book is available on Kindle Unlimited. It's not available on Spotify. If you don't have Kindle Unlimited, it's $1.99 for the Kindle version on Amazon.
On to reviews. On Storygraph, the average rating's a 3.23. The lowest rating that has like substance on it is a 2, and I'm not going to read that because to me, like the rating doesn't make sense. It says such a fun short read. I love reading novellas like this after dark books, but like, why are you giving it a 2 if you loved it?
Yeah. That's pretty low rating if you loved it.
Yeah. This 3-star on there though says short, spicy, and plenty of sweet would make a great palate cleanser.
Mm-hmm.
And the 5-star I picked does not exist because there was no 5-star with substance. Actually, there was a 1-star, but someone didn't actually put any substance in there.
Mm-hmm.
So the 4-star I picked says, if you love GM Fairy's specific brand of unhinged fairy tale inspired love, you're going to have a blast. A maple syrup fun flavored blast. Pinio transforms into a wooden man when Clara wishes upon a star. His nose isn't what grows when he lies, but Clara is not complaining. On Goodreads, the average rating is a 3.55. The 1-star I picked out of these says, as a self proclaimed brain rot enjoyer, this was a hard read, even for me. So, to compensate, everyone is forced to read wood related puns throughout this review, since this was effectively a PG-13 sex stream about an aged up Pinocchio. Plot holes left me stumped. Would not recommend. Smut was not tree-rific. Entirely too much discussion of her father in the same sentence as the puppet, despite its attempt at being innocent. No tree puns here. I needed you to actually internalize this one.
Mm-hmm. No tree puns here.
Yeah. And the 5-star picked says, hilariously cute, a short, sweet, and funny novella. I like the idea of the story. I haven't come across anything like it before. Pinio and Clara are adorable and made for each other. Well, Pinio literally was made for Clara, lol.
Mm-hmm.
The spice was good, and it was a nice break to keep me out of the reading slump.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Amazon, it's a 3.5. And the lowest rating I was able to find with substance is a 3-star, actually. It says, this is a quick read with a humorous, naughty take on the Pinocchio story. When he lies, it's not his nose that grows. It's a little silly and sweet. A lot of these reviews say it was like an arc read, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the 5-star I picked from there says, this book was wild AF. It's the way I couldn't imagine him as a wooden man, a retelling of Pinocchio, and I'm flabbergasted.
Oh my gosh.
And that's everything. So cue our friend James over there.
Our bestie.
Bestie.
There's some spoilers coming up, sweetie. You better cover your ears.
Okay, so you said you had more notes than I do, so you can go ahead and tee us off here.
I'm sure we probably have some of the same ones.
Mm-hmm.
But my first one is, so Pinio is a puppet made by her dad.
Yeah.
Right? And she is in love with this puppet, right?
Yeah.
So with him being created from her dad, would that kind of make him her brother?
Honestly, yes. I can see that 100%.
Is this like incest kind of almost?
This like I love Gia Fairy. You know that I love Gia Fairy. We have read
Yes.
so many of her books,
Yes.
but this one is so far is the one that has given me constant ick factor. Like the
Really?
entire book. I read this one twice because like I've already read this one. I read it when it first came out, and it's just I did not enjoy it the first time, and I thought maybe the second time would be better, but no, it was not any better.
You see, what's funny is like I had the opposite reaction to this.
Really?
Yes. Let me see. I gotta look at what other books I've read by her
Mhm.
and see. I don't know. I feel like no, you know what? You didn't read Pounded by Produce.
No, I'm not reading that one. Out of all the ones that I will not read, that one's I'm not reading that one.
Yeah, that one was a little. You probably would rate that one lower.
Yeah,
Uh, Stay in My Swamp is probably between the ones that we've read together.
yeah. See, I think Stay in My Swamp or the third book from that series. What was it?
Spellbound Seduction.
Yeah, Spell. I think Spell Down because it's the one that's got the most backstory. Like this one, I mean, they're all erotica. Like, don't get me wrong. Like that's kind of the whole point. But this one is the worst one so far in the sense of it does not have any story. Like
Well,
it
it's meant
just
to be a
immediately.
novella.
Yeah, I know, I get that, but like I don't know, I didn't like this book. Like I rated it very low because
Yeah, I noticed that.
it felt incestual, it felt way too much. I mean, it to me she basically was having sex with a child in my mind because they didn't know anything. They're new. He's built to be a toy, now you're having sex with it. Like I don't know, like this book just rubbed me the wrong way. I did not like it.
You know what? That's very all valid.
Yeah. Yes. I like more story. Like I like erotica. Like I like to read about sex because like I don't know, it's just I mean I don't have to, but like if it's there, great. If it's not great, I do sometimes prefer it because it does keep it interesting because there's that tension there. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it. Like the newfound romance tension kind of deal. Like I love reading about that because it reminds me of me and my husband's newfound romance when we first like dating and married and stuff. But I don't know, like this one just felt really icky to me the entire time. Like both times I read it, it was so icky.
I can understand that. I think the only thing that kind of in a way kind of redeemed it, if you're thinking of it in that sense, is that like they aged him up because it makes sense with him being created when she was like really young.
Yeah.
He's been around for like a long time and we don't really know how old she is. I'm assuming in her 20s. So at
I
the very
believe she
least,
said that she was like 27. Like it said sometime in the book. She's in her late 20s.
yeah, so like if he was made when she was like 5, so he's got to be at least like 20 years old
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Just it gave me like pedo vibes the entire time. I don't know why. Like I don't like it.
cuz he's always watching.
Not even that. Like I've read books with stuff like that, and like it didn't really bother me. I think it's just because that it was a toy, and then it was, like a real boy, I guess is what would be the best way to say it, because like Pinocchio, but it just felt so weird because it was like, oh, I'm so glad my father made you. You're so hot and sexy. And then I love you like I love my father, but differently. And I'm like,
Yeah, she did say that.
don't say that. Like, girl, don't say that. And then she was like, yeah, I love you. Then he's like, well, I saw you love your father. Is this the same? And I'm like, no, I couldn't.
You see,
I love GM Fairy. I love her books, but I hate this one specifically.
I think like with the like that to me that was more of like an innocence because he still like doesn't understand like everything in like the world and he's just like, well,
Because he's
do you
essentially a
mean it like
child.
this? Because he kind of like only was able to like learn things based off of what he observed. So it's
Yeah.
not he didn't get to experience any of this stuff in the real world, so he's not like actively learning. So that's like all he has is like based off of like
Of like one
observing.
house. Yeah, because she probably never took him anywhere except for like at
Probably
home.
not. But, speaking of observing, do you think like all the other puppets that she has at her house are also watching?
That is something that I wish would have covered it. Because he
Yeah,
did at some point say, like, I hope that they're not like sentient like I am. Because that would be awkward. But
it would be.
did they never like move the puppets to another room or anything? Like when they got like
Probably not.
like married or whatever, like happily ever after, the puppets stay in the kitchen now. Like
I mean, maybe they're into that.
Oh, they could be. I don't know.
Pineo said that his favorite pastime is watching Clara touch herself,
Is that
so
voyeurism? Is that what that is?
yes,
Yeah,
is
that's what I
watching.
thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. See, that doesn't bother me. Like I've read books where it's like stalker romances where they'll put like cameras in the house and stuff like that. That doesn't bother me. I don't want it to happen to me, but reading
Yeah.
about it,
No, no,
I'm like,
no, no,
that's pretty cool. And not cool. That's the wrong word.
no.
That's pretty hot. That's the word I'm going for. But like if it happened at my house, I'd probably move.
You'd probably like Lights Out then. It's
I
it,
need to read Lights Out. It's on my TBR.
it's pretty dark, but it's heavy on that.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice about this book though is that uh for some reason, and I've read a lot of books where it's like weird kind of erotica like this,
Mhm.
it's always the quiet, lonely girls that keep to themselves. Like you never get girls who are popular with like a whole bunch of friends like falling in love with
I would like
monsters.
that more, honestly.
I feel like that'd be like a different twist because I've read, like I said, I've read so many weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've read this series, I think it's like Monster Ever After or something like that by Layla Faye.
Yeah.
And every single one of the characters so far has been like this lonely, shy, never around anybody else kind of girl who's, not known to anybody. She's kept to herself and stuff. So it's like,
Yeah.
what if
See,
there was
that's
someone
another
who's,
thing
there,
that I
like,
wrote down. I hate it how in all these books it's always a mousy brunette. Like specifically, they always write mousy brunette because they're always like quiet and weird and anxious or whatever. But like what if we had like a cheerleader that was like, oh, I'm so happy, life is so great. I'm gonna go home. I'm lonely. I sent you a doorknob. Like, like what if it was something like that?
maybe it's like, what do you call it? Like, it's it's speaking out to like those lonely, quiet girls because like it's the stereotype that the lonely, quiet girls are the ones with like the weird fetishes.
I mean, let's be honest, that's probably 90% of the people reading stuff like that would be
It's
like
true.
the quiet girls, I feel like.
Probably.
Because I know for sure, like in public, I'm like, oh, it's so nice to meet you. And then I'm going to go home and I'm going to read erotica. Like, that's kind of what it is, which I don't read that all the time, but every once in a while is nice.
I like reading it when I try to reach my goal for the year
Yes,
for reading
short
wise because
books.
they're short,
Yes.
they're funky. They
Yeah.
make me question a lot of things.
I either go between erotica or thriller short stories when I'm trying to reach my goal at the end of the year.
I didn't get to reach my goal last year, but
I
I made
didn't
it to
either.
like 80, so that's 80 out of 100 is pretty good.
I wanted 120 and I got to 111, I think. So I was
Ooh.
super, super close.
Another thing I noticed that's similar to like a lot of other eroticas, or at least for sure, like the Monster Ever After series. I don't know if it's like a lot of
Hmm.
like the weird, funky, like eroticas like this, is that all the cum is
Yes.
flavored. Like I've read ones where it tastes like eggnog and like pumpkin spice and
Because they're trying to make it
like
more like attractive, maybe.
I guess. But in this story, it was maple syrup.
That was so funny. I actually laughed at that one because he's like wood
Yeah,
and it's maple syrup. That was so funny to me. I don't know why. I laughed out loud.
this book was pretty funny. I'm
It
not gonna
was really
lie.
funny.
I think the other thing that was funny is that, like, when that was happening, he, like, had his penis out
Hmm.
and he was just like, "Man, I don't really know about this." And then she started touching him and he's just, like, "You know what? I love this thing."
You know what? I'm so happy that we're here right now.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm like, "That's kind of funny."
Yeah.
Also,
Um,
in regards to that, are we not worried about splinters?
that is something that I thought about reading it the second time because I didn't think about the first time. But like that would be a fear, especially down yonder.
Or on your tongue?
Ooh, yeah, ooh. Oh gosh, that would hurt.
Uh,
Maybe he was like sanded and like
you
polished or
know,
something.
I would hope so,
Yeah.
but, I mean,
R.I.P. You know?
yeah, right?
I have one more note, and it's if a puppet jumped up and asked what was wrong, I would simply pass away.
Yeah.
Because I felt like she was valid whenever she was upset, and then the puppet just like came to life and was like, "What's wrong?" And then she was like throwing pillows at it. That would
Yeah,
100% be me.
I felt I get that. But,
Pretend to be
like,
dead.
she's so infatuated with him. How did she not recognize him right off the bat?
I know, and then she like looked behind him and ran to the shelf where he was. Like that was so funny. Like I was like, that's so dramatic.
She was like, "Wait, it's you."
Wait, And then she's like, runs around across the room in her dress with her hair, her curls bouncing in the wind.
Yeah.
Pinio, it's you. You're alive. Lord,
I still
it
have
was
like a whole bunch
funny.
of notes.
Oh, dude, you can go.
I
I'm
do.
finished. That's all the notes that I had. You just plow through them if you want.
Okay, so when they were, when they switched and he was like pleasuring her in like her bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
she was just like, but like, what do you know what to do? And he was just like, I've watched you so many times, like I could do this. So I'm like,
Yeah.
he's got a degree in Clara because he spent so much time studying her
Watching
over the
her.
years, like
Yeah.
degree. And then I found an ick
Mm-hmm.
in this book where she said he touched me to completion.
That bothered me so
I don't know why.
much.
Like it doesn't seem like that bad, but like to me, I was kind of just like, ew, I don't like the way
I
that's
mean,
worded.
it's right, but it's also wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
And then when they went to town together,
Yeah.
not to town on each other,
Together to
into
town.
into the real town, like
Into the real town
shops.
together.
He's like this wooden man, and everyone's just like, oh my gosh, wooden
Yeah.
man, let me
What man?
touch. I'm like, why is that your first thought, is to touch the wooden man and like not be like freaked out by the fact there's a wooden person walking around?
I don't know. I guess I wanted to see if it was real or something. Like, let me just touch it to see, make sure I'm not imagining this right now.
I mean, like, keep your hands to
That
yourself.
too, yeah. But
Like,
I imagine if like 20 plus people saw it all at the same time, you could just go ahead and assume, hey, that's real.
but
You know?
like, like I like looking at weird pimples and stuff, but I don't touch someone's random pimple
Ew,
because I'm
that'd be
like, is this
gross.
real?
Could you
You
imagine being at
know?
the grocery store and you just touch somebody's like acne?
Yeah, right? Like it's not like you don't
That would be
you,
disgusting.
like why are you touching a normal, you wouldn't touch a normal person like that? Why are you touching a wooden
Yeah.
man? Let's see. And I'm glad that after everything, like when she had her big like, oh my gosh, like he doesn't love me anymore. He's gonna leave me, whatever. And she decided to barricade herself in the room. I'm glad afterwards she realized, you know what? I should have actually told him how I was feeling instead of just saying I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because you know what? A lot of characters, even in like regular romance books, they don't like think about that. They're so bad with communicating. But like I'm glad she
Yes.
realized like I should have said something.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're having their whole thing, and he's just like, I I'm gonna I upset you, so I'm gonna leave. And she's like, do you want to leave? And he's like, yes, I want to leave. And then his is just like, ha,
Out.
liar.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yes, I would like to leave. Boner. You know?
Yeah. And then I think it's pretty cool that there's a man who can't lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no way he can hide the fact he's lying.
I know,
But
yeah.
that poses the question though, because at the end, I'm gonna jump a little bit to like my last note here.
Okay.
If he's a human now, does his still grow when he lies?
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe. I mean, that'd be kind of interesting.
That would be very interesting, yeah.
Okay, so I have a quote
Okay.
from the book itself, not like something one of them said. The
Yeah.
book says, or like she was thinking in her head, she's like, well, we could wait until it becomes back to a normal size, but like, where's the fun in that?
Yeah.
And I'm
Like, what if we
like,
just did it now?
that's kind of funny.
That, like, I had to hurt, honestly.
Well, no, it didn't hurt because it conformed to her size, and when he pulled out,
That's
he was
true.
normal size.
That's true.
So it was like her was like magic.
It's like,
And
wow, they're both magic together. That's how you know it's meant to be.
and then another funny quote I thought was like, after like, they're in the middle of going to town on each other,
Yeah.
how can anyone get anything done with knowing something heavenly exists one dick away? I was like, you know what? That's kind of funny, and I kind of relate because you know what?
Yeah.
There's a difference between like masturbating and getting. I think one's better than the other.
Yeah.
Like I
No,
don't know what it.
there's definitely a right answer to that. And if you think that it's right, you're probably wrong if you're listening and you think you know what you're talking about.
I mean, everyone's different.
Oh, you know what? That makes me seem like a butthole. Now that you said that.
I mean, everyone's different,
Take it
but
back right now.
I feel like there's a difference, and
There is a big difference, yeah.
it just one hits differently than the other, and whatever your preference is your preference.
Yeah.
But I can relate. And then my last note is like him becoming a human is like true love takes true love's form, which reminded me of that scene in Shrek when Fiona
Yes.
turns into or continues staying like an ogre. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, true love takes true love's form. And then I'm like wondering, like, if that's the case though, how come Clara didn't become a puppet?
That's true. She could have become like him instead of him become like her.
Exactly. So it could have gone the opposite way.
I wonder if there will be another book later where it's talking about like them later, or maybe even the other puppets.
I mean, that would be interesting if like they learned more about like the other puppets, but
Yeah.
like I don't know. I feel like this is a novella and maybe it might just stay as is.
That's true. Yeah.
I think it's fine on its own. It's not like getting my swamp.
Yeah, where there could be continuation.
Or I guess The Crimson Wolf. I haven't read that yet, but I know there's like more than one book in that series that she has.
Yes, there's 3. Okay, according to her website, there's 3. Ooh, book number 2 is a 3 Little Pigs love story.
Ooh.
And then book number 1 is Red Riding Hood. And it doesn't say what 3 is.
Maybe it's not out yet. I feel like the second book came out just last year.
It says a Grimm love story. Would that be based off of the Grimm book?
I'm not sure. I guess we'll just have to read it to find
Maybe.
out.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't read that yet. I got that, the big book of Grimm, whatever it is. I have that one.
Let's
Yeah.
let's do the let's
You
do
know,
the
thing.
buzzwords and
The ratings. The ratings. Yeah, there it
So
is.
why don't you go first? I've done a lot of talking.
I rated it a 2 out of 5, and my buzzwords were quick, silly, and spicy.
I rated it a 5 out of 5.
Wow, that's hard to get out of you.
I know. I rated it originally a 4 out of 5, but then like after rereading it again, I was just like, you know what? I like really liked this for some reason. Like it was just
That's so funny.
it was just it was different. I liked it a
Yeah.
lot more than I have like other weird monster erotica stuff.
Yeah.
So I gave it a 5 out of 5. I said it was funny, cute, and heartwarming. I thought it was
Aw,
really cute at the end. You know, they're like they've loved each other for such a long time, and finally they're like
that's
happily ever
cute.
after. So I was just
Mhm.
like, oh,
I like that. That's cute.
my husband's gonna listen to this and be like, "You're weird."
You're a weirdo. It would be so funny if he read it and then listened to the episode so he could know what was going on.
Well, you know, I would like him to read it. He could probably read this in a day. All right. Well, we're just about done. So
Okay.
let's spin that wheel.
All right, we're spinning. And it is The Darkest Kink by W.S. Greer.
That's fun.
That's fine. We just added that one 2 minutes ago. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for listening to this episode of Bibliophiles Audiophiles. We hope you catch us in the next one. If you are a author and would like us to do an interview with you or to read or review one of your books, we have an email at biblioaudiopod@gmail.com.
Yes. And we got some other links, and they're going to be on our link tree.
Well, you'll hear us in the next episode.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.